CHAPTER X of the Money Moon. The Money Moon, a Romance, by Geoffrey Farnell. CHAPTER X How Bellew and Adam entered into a solemn league and covenant.
"Look at the moon to night, Uncle Porges."
"I see it."
"It's awful' big and round, isn't it?"
"Yes, it's very big, and very round."
"And rather yellow, isn't it?"
"Very yellow."
"Just like a great, big, golden sovereign, isn't it?"
"Very much like a sovereign, my Porges."
"Well, do you know, I was wondering if there was any chance that it was a Money Moon?"
They were leaning out at the lattice, Small Porges and Big Porges. Anthea and Miss Priscilla were busied upon household matters wholly feminine, wherefore Small Porges had drawn Bellew to the window, and there they leaned, the small body enfolded by Bellew's long arm, and the two faces turned up to the silvery splendour of the moon. But now, Anthea came up behind them, and, not noticing the position of Bellew's arm as she leaned on the other side of Small Porges, it befell that her hand touched, and, for a moment, rested upon Bellew's hand, hidden as it was in the shadow. And this, probably, began it. The air of Arcadia, as has been said before, is an intoxicating air, but it is more, it is an air charged with a subtle magic whereby the commonest objects, losing their prosaic, matter of fact shapes, become transfigured into things of wonder and delight, little things that pass as mere ordinary commonplaces, things insignificant, and wholly beneath notice in the everyday world, become fraught with such infinite meaning, and may hold such sublime, such undreamed of possibilities, here in Arcadia. Thus, when it is recorded that Anthea's hand accidentally touched, and rested upon Bellew's, the significance of it will become at once apparent.
"And pray,"
said Anthea, laying that same hand in the most natural manner in the world, upon the Small Porges's curls,
"pray, what might you two be discussing so very solemnly?" "The moon," answered Small Porges. "I was wondering if it was a Money Moon, and Uncle Porges hasn't said if it is yet."
"Why no, old chap," answered Bellew, "I'm afraid not."
"And pray," said Anthea again, "what might a Money Moon be?" "Well," explained Small Porges, "when the moon's just so, then you go out, and find a fortune, you know. But the moon's got to be a Money Moon, and you've got to know, you know, else you'll find nothing, of course."
"Ah, Georgy dear!" sighed Anthea, stooping her dark head down to his golden curls,
"don't you know that fortunes are very hard to get, and that they have to be worked for, and that no one ever found one without a great deal of labour, and sorrow?" "'Course, every one can't find fortunes, Auntie Anthea, I know that, but we shall. My Uncle Porges knows all about it, you see, and I know that we shall. I'm sure as sure we shall find one some day, 'cause, you see, I put it in my prayers now, at the end, you know, I say, 'And please help me and my Uncle Porges to find a fortune when the Money Moon comes, a big one, world without end, Amen.' So you see, it's all right, and we're just waiting till the Money Moon comes, aren't we, Uncle Porges?"
"Yes, old chap, yes," nodded Bellew, "until the Money Moon comes." And so there fell a silence between them, yet a silence that held a wondrous charm of its own, a silence that lasted so long that the coppery curls drooped lower, and lower upon Bellew's arm, until Anthea, sighing, rose, and in a very tender voice bade Small Porges say good night, the which he did, forthwith, slumberous of voice, and sleepy eyed, and so, with his hand in Anthea's, went drowsily up to bed. Wherefore, seeing that Miss Priscilla had bustled away into the kitchen, Bellew sauntered out into the rose garden to look upon the beauty of the night. The warm air was fragrant with dewy scents, and the moon, already high above the tree tops, poured down their gentle radiance upon the quaint, old garden with its winding walks, and clipped yew hedges, while upon the quiet, from the dim shadow of the distant woods, stole the soft, sweet song of a nightingale. Bellew walked a path bordered with flowers, and checkered with silver patches of moonlight, drinking in the thousand beauties about him, staring up at the glory of the moon, the indigo of the sky, and listening to the voice of the lonely singer in the wood. And yet it was of none of these he was thinking as he paused under the shadow of King Arthur, nor of Small Porges, nor of any one or anything in this world, but only of the sudden, light touch of a warm, soft hand upon his. "Be that you, sir?" Bellew started, and now he found that he had been sitting, all this while, with an empty pipe between his teeth, yet content therewith, wherefore he shook his head, and wondered. "Be that you, Mr. Bellew, sir?" "Yes, Adam, it is I." "Ah! and how might ye be feeling now, arter your exercise with the pitchfork, sir?" "Very fit, I thank you, Adam. Sit down and smoke, and let us converse together." "Why, thankee, sir," answered Adam, producing the small, black, clay pipe from his waistcoat pocket, and accepting Bellew's proffered pouch. "I've been up to the 'ouse a visitin' Prudence the cook, and a rare cook she be too, Mr. Bellew, sir." "And a rare buxom girl into the bargain, Adam." "Oh, ah! Well, she's well enough, sir, I won't go for to deny as she's a fine, upstanding, well shaped, tall, and proper figure of a woman as ever was, sir, though the Kentish lasses be a tidy lot, Mr. Bellew, sir. But Lord! when you come to think of her gift of Yorkshire puddin', likewise jam rollers and seed cakes, which, though mentioned last, ain't by no manner o' means least, when you come to think of her brew o' ale, and cider, and ginger wine, why then, I'm took, sir, I'm took altogether, and the old Adam inside o' me works hisself into such a state that if another chap, specially that there Job Jagway, gets looking her way, and too often, why it's got to get took out o' him, or took out o' me in good hard knocks, Mr. Bellew, sir." "And when are you going to get married, Adam?" "Well, sir, we was thinking that if Miss Anthea has a good season, this year, we'd get it over and done with some time in October, sir, but it's all accordin'." "According to what?" "To the 'ops, sir, the HOPS, 'ops, sir. They're comin' on fine, scrumptious they be. If they don't take the blight, sir, they'll be the finest 'ops this side o' Maidstone, but then, if they do take the blight, why then, my 'opes is blighted likewise, sir. BLITED, blighted, Mr. Bellew, sir." Which said, Adam laughed once, nodded his head several times, and relapsed into puffing silence. "Mr. Cassilis was over to day, Adam," said Bellew, after a while pursuing a train of thought. "Ah, sir, I seen him, he also seen me. He told me as Job Jagway was up and about again, likewise Job Jagway will be over 'ere to morrow, along wi' the rest of 'em, for the sale, sir." "Ah, yes, the sale," said Bellew, thoughtfully. "To think o' that there Job Jagway a comin' over here to buy Miss Anthea's furnitur', do set the old Adam a workin' inside o' me to that amazin' extent as I can't sit still, Mr. Bellew, sir. And if that there Job crosses my path to morrer, well, let him. Look out, that's all." Saying which, Adam doubled up a huge, knotted fist, and shook it at an imaginary Job. "Adam," said Bellew in the same thoughtful tone, "I wonder if you would do something for me?" "Anything you ax me, sir, so long as you don't want me to—" "I want you to buy some of that furniture for me." "What!" exclaimed Adam, and vented his great laugh again. "Well, if that ain't a good 'un, sir, and it's just what I'm a going to do. Yer see, I ain't what you might call a rich cove, nor yet a millionaire, but I've got a bit put by, and I drawed out £10 yesterday. Thinks I, 'ere's to save Miss Anthea's old sideboard, or the mirror as she's so fond of, or if not, why then a cheer or so. They ain't a going to get it all, not while I've got £1 or 2, I says to myself." "Adam," said Bellew, turning suddenly, "that sentiment does you credit, that sentiment makes me proud to have knocked you into a ditch. Shake hands, Adam." And there, beneath the great apple tree, while the moon looked on, they very solemnly shook hands. "And now, Adam," pursued Bellew, "I want you to put back your £10, keep it for Prudence, because I happen to have rather more than we shall want. See here."